Soldiers from Ukraine's 3rd Separate Assault Brigade get into their Bradley, fighting vehicles, and set off on a very important mission. As the armored vehicle moves forward towards enemy lines, a shell that hasn't exploded gets stuck under. The tracks for a moment. The crew stay calm. Inside, there's only a slight tremor. The impact is barely felt. Bradley's heavy armor absorbs the shock easily, causing only a slight shudder in the cabin. Through the gunner's camera, a Russian BTR-82 suddenly appears, racing head-on towards the Ukrainian vehicle. The Bradley fires straight away. The enemy aircraft carrier is badly damaged. The BTR tries to fire back, but its systems are already failing and its crew are firing randomly into space. The commander's voice, which is barely audible, confirms that the machine is in a bad state. Watch a Ukrainian soldier jump from a moving Bradley to finish the job. The Russian spaceship is destroyed and its crew jump out before it explodes. At the same time, the Ukrainians are getting closer to their goal. The Bradley fires bullets to keep the enemy under control, while Russian soldiers are badly hurt by the sudden attack. The 3rd Brigade is prepared for the next challenge. Music, move out. The Russians are still in place all across the area, especially in the dense forests, where most of the fighting happens without them ever seeing the enemy face to face. A group of Ukrainians are advancing towards trenches that they recently regained from the Russians. The job is safe, but it's only temporary. 2 more Russian APCs carrying troops arrive. A second armored vehicle has joined the fight. It is firing at the enemy to try to take back the ground. If you get hit with a bullet right away, it'll stop the lead vehicle dead and send the soldiers running in all directions. One Bradley gun fires 2 missiles quickly, one after the other. The counterattack fails and Russian troops panic, leaving their burning wreckage behind. The Bradley gunners have done their job perfectly. Fighter jets are now patrolling to protect the skies. Applause, wow! Applause. Russian soldiers are hiding in trenches, but they are soon spotted and attacked with grenade launchers and machine guns. Applause, music. The enemy is under a lot of pressure and starts to back off. Ukrainian soldiers have checked and they can't hold the position anymore. The Russian command is desperate. They send in frontline aircraft. Su-25 jets fly down the runway, carrying rockets and guided missiles. They are Ukraine's last chance to stop the attack. As the jets get closer to the battlefield, they release flares to avoid being seen by Ukrainian defenses. They fly over the treetops, dropping their bombs on Ukrainian lines before running away. Explosions occur just meters away, and shockwaves knock several soldiers off their feet, though none are seriously hurt. We're under air attack. Sending the Air Defense Network the location information. Applause. The Su-25s try to circle back, using a different route, but the Ukrainian operators are already tracking them. The calculations are quick, so there is no room for error. The target is locked, missile away. A few seconds later, they get confirmation. One Su-25 is shot down. A fiery streak of light crosses the sky, the wreck burning like a meteor. The pilot is thrown out of the plane at the last moment and just manages to survive. Russia's mission has failed. They lost another jet, but this didn't stop Ukraine from advancing. Applause, applause. Some Russian soldiers are still fighting in small groups, but the Ukrainian brigade is holding its ground. They have the position now. The Bradley units regroup and head towards the extraction zone. Many of these soldiers, including Azov fighters, are part of Ukraine's elite. The operation ends with no one being hurt, and the unit is getting ready to move somewhere else. At the same time, Ukrainian drones scan the area, finding Russian artillery many kilometers from the captured trenches. 2.2A65 152mm towed howitzers, which can fire lots of shells very quickly, are dug in. Command chooses a different approach and sends a flamethrower drone armed with thermite. Thermite is known for its extreme heat which is almost impossible to put out. It is one of the most destructive types of fire and can be compared to napalm and white phosphorus. It can destroy bunkers, trenches, and even armored vehicles. The drone drops its fiery payload over Russian positions hidden in the tree line. The result is a disaster. Flames spread quickly, ammunition explodes, and secondary blasts spread across the site. Video from a Russian soldier who was running away shows how bad the damage is. The artillery battery has been destroyed, so the threat has been neutralized. The teams that had been looking around the area returned to the base. By the time it's morning, the Russian soldiers at the scene find only ash, smoldering trucks and guns that have been destroyed. Drones armed with thermite are becoming a new and dangerous weapon in this conflict. In recent months, Ukraine has been taking action against Russian forces. They have been carrying out a variety of operations. These have included reconnaissance, strikes on supply chains, and other assaults. Instead of waiting for one big win, the Ukrainian army has put pressure on several different sides, forcing Russia to use more soldiers and use up more of its supplies. Assault brigades are still carrying out precise operations in Donetsk, Luhansk, and Zaporizhia. They are launching pinning attacks in the south to break through the enemy's defenses and advancing in the east. The plan is not to achieve quick wins, but to gradually weaken Russia's military by reducing its flexibility and weakening its reinforcements. One of Ukraine's strengths is its ability to disrupt logistics. Drones and scouts track roads and depots, waiting for the right moment to strike. Despite Russia trying to hide convoys, Ukrainian FPVs are hitting fuel trucks, command vehicles, and resupply columns more and more often. If we lose a truck, it takes time to get more. If we are attacked, it is harder to hold our position. Geography is taken advantage of. In forests and areas near cities, Ukrainian soldiers move quietly, attack quickly, and then leave before Russian artillery can respond. These attacks on mobile devices create constant instability. One day, you might have a job that you can't do. The next day, drones orbit continuously, spotting artillery and armor, while Ukrainian counter-battery fire answers in minutes. At the same time, anti-drone units are stopping Russian UAVs, which is helping Ukraine in the war. Precision counter-battery fire has already destroyed several large Russian howitzers, including batteries near Svedov, destroyed by Excalibur and M982 rounds. Without artillery, Russian infantry are left vulnerable and forced to use underprotected armored carriers, which are easy to ambush. Attacking command nodes, EW centers, and headquarters stops Russia from working together. Sabotage teams go deep into occupied areas and blow up warehouses full of shells. Even the Black Sea is not safe. Ukrainian naval drones have attacked Russian ships, forcing them to retreat back to Sevastopol and reducing the number of missiles they can launch. Morale is still a big deal. Ukrainian soldiers fight together with a clear aim: to be free. On the other hand, intercepted communications show that the Russians are disorganized. They are confused and hesitant, and some units have abandoned their posts after only a short period of contact. This makes it more likely that they will lose the battle. Air defenses are another important part of Ukraine's ability to defend itself. Systems made up of different layers are making it harder for Russian planes to get through. Russia's Su-25s, Su-34s, and helicopters have been shot down, forcing them to risk flying at low altitudes where they are most vulnerable. Every loss makes it harder for Ukraine to control the skies, with the number of depots getting smaller and reinforcements taking longer to arrive. Russian positions in several areas do not have enough resources. Ukraine seizes these opportunities, launching quick local attacks with the help of drones and artillery. Even small gains are important, because they help with bigger attacks and force Russia to move troops from quieter areas. The pace is about to pick up. New long-range systems are being used to target Crimea and southern infrastructure. Better supply roads mean Ukrainian logistics are faster. We are using Western-supplied missiles and counter-battery assets. New drones can fly farther, reaching areas that were previously hard to access. This is not about one big attack, but about gradually wearing down the enemy over time. This means problems with supplies, communication, artillery, and air superiority. Russia is slowly losing its ability to fight. What happens is not just a few battles, but the enemy's supplies, organization, and endurance are clearly seen to be breaking down.